Afternoon. It's Wednesday afternoon, I think. No, it's Tuesday. Sorry, it's Tuesday today. And in my last video, yeah, I was talking about this hen run. Talking about the electric fence. Well, it seems to be all right now. Touch wood. I'm not aware of any visitors anyway. I might go and have another walk around the perimeter tomorrow morning. But that seems to be okay. Ticker seems to be working. Gosh, just a miserable day again. Yeah, we keep having these false spring days that are just quite nice and dry, and then you think, oh, spring's here, and then the next minute it's blooming dull and wet again. It's looking more and more like it's not going to be an early spring really, because we couldn't get anywhere near any of our fields at the moment. But anyway, I'll just stop moaning about it. This pond's about as full as it ever gets. That still needs rodding out. I don't think I've unblocked the pipe since last time I moaned about it on camera. Yeah, I was saying in the last video that I've had some trouble with pneumonia in this cattle shed. And unfortunately, one of the ones I jabbed that I went and got the drugs for on the weekend didn't make it, which was one of the ones in this group. It had a couple of jabs in the end, but after it died, I think on Sunday, I had another one, which is actually an Angus heifer in the next pen, a bigger one, that was sort of going the same way, very heavily breathing, panting. And I thought, bloody, I don't want to lose that one as well. So my friend thought it might need a steroid, so I called the vet out Sunday night, about 8-9 o'clock Sunday night, and they came and they did give it a steroid injection. And it survived the night. Well, it survived 2 nights. It's still alive. I wouldn't have said it's miraculously recovered, but it is still alive. It's still panting quite a lot, and I don't think it comes to the trough. I mean, yesterday I saw it come to the trough, and I thought, oh, happy days! It's eating again. It'll be on the mend. But this morning when I watched it come to the trough, when I fed them barley, it came and it stuck its head in the feed, but it didn't actually eat anything. It was just pretending, which is a bit of a survival instinct, isn't it? To blend in. So I'm just going to keep a real close eye on that. It's had its full course of antibiotics, which will wear off, I think, tomorrow. So whether it needs another jab or not, I don't know. I'm just keeping a real close eye on them, because I was of 2 minds to jab a couple of these because they were just breathing a bit heavy, but I didn't, because they were still all coming to the trough and they're still all eating. And then yesterday, Monday morning, it was a lovely breezy day, and it was nothing like what it was here over the weekend. It was real drafty, because the vet had a bit of a moan that it wasn't very well ventilated, this shed. But it was just one of them days, I think. I don't think, having a more open shed would have helped really much, because it's surprising how breezy it gets in this shed when the weather's right. So I'm just keeping a real close eye on everything. But yeah, it was a bit of a blow losing one, but there's not a lot you can do about it. We've never really had any bad cases of pneumonia here ever, so it was bound to happen at some point. So yeah, I've just been to fetch my camera, because I was about to do this job. I've just made this bracket, which I'm going to stick through that wall to hold this last calf hurdle in place. I've got sort of loop eyes to tie to for all the others. But this is the first time we've had the full set of pens set up. So I just had it tied to a pallet, which is not going to last very long once the muck starts pushing against it and the calves get bigger. So every day I've been looking at it thinking I need to drill a hole through and make a bracket for that. So I finally got around to it today, so that's what I'm doing now. The other thing that I did yesterday, I took some sheep. I did take, me and my sister weighed the majority of the lambs that we brought back on the weekend on Sunday morning, and we picked out 15 to take, 15 lambs, and I think there was 3 ewes that were left over from the ewes and lambs that we bought last spring. Yeah, we bought ewes and lambs last spring. In hindsight, I don't think it was worth keeping them. They weren't, because once we sold all the lambs off the ewes and lambs, because they were old broken mouthed ewes, we thought, oh, I might as well leave the ewes over the winter and let them fatten up a bit. But in hindsight, you know, I don't think there's a lot of point, because I don't think they really gained any value over the winter. So I mean, I have had plenty of grass, so it didn't really matter. But if you were chasing grass around, I don't think it's worthwhile keeping them. So I've learned that lesson. But lambs were trading all pretty well. You know, there was a lot of big 50 kilo odd lambs making, you know, 140, 150 quid. Mine were only well, we weighed them out at about 40, I'd say they were average 42, 43, but they always seem to weigh less when you take them to the market, so I think they were 41s in the sale, so they made reasonable money, so I'm quite happy considering what I paid for them. But you always are happy with the first lot, because they're your best ones. So we'll see how the trade holds up as time goes on. Could probably do with going and worming what we haven't sold, what's left. But I don't know whether to wait until the weekend, because I'm going to bring the rest back, I think, from their winter keep this weekend. So I might wait until they bring them all back and then worm the whole lot after we've had another weigh. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to go round. I've left me drill. Wherever left me drill. Go and drill a hole for this bracket and get that done, and then I might go and have a look at my hedge cutter. And there's my drill. Left it there. Yeah, it was a long diversion. I just nipped to get my camera because I keep forgetting to pick it up. And if you don't pick your camera up, you never get any footage, do you? So I think it wants to be about there. The reason I drilled it that way was so that the scruff, because these blocks are a bit crumbly, the scruffy end side will be on the inside, because that'll be covered up by the the big plate bracket that I've made. In theory, that's my plan. And I'll just have a washer on the outside. Job's a good one. I actually think that's probably a better way of doing it. All the others are I just put like a gate hinge through the wall. I think my original plan was to maybe weld 2 little eyes onto the hurdles and then have like a pin that drops down. But in hindsight, I think making a little bracket that's probably a better way of doing it. But yeah, anyway, it's just another job ticked off the list. Trying to avoid having calves running through the garden. So I'll go and have a look at this. I'll just go and have a look at this hedge cutter now. I'll have to probably put it in this shed because it's raining. Yeah, someone said on in my comments to my last video to have a look, see if there's a gauze filter in the inside of the oil tank, which is maybe restricting the oil flow to the head of the hedge cutter. So which is probably not a bad idea, so I'm going to have a look at that now. I'll just go and check my egg box actually, because eggs seem to be flying out at the moment. So yeah, it seemed like a good idea, so I'm going to take the lid off and probably have to stick my arm in and see if I can feel whether there's a gauze on the oil outlet or not. I don't know how much you can see, but starting it up there, it looks like it's spinning pretty fast to me. So it certainly starts off all right, but yeah, when I was using it the other day, it just seemed to get slower and slower. I mean, I didn't use it for a huge amount of time, only for like half an hour, but it got so slow that you could see the flails going around, and they were only just brushing the hedge rather than cutting. Yeah, it does. It's got a massive, great big filter on the end. So, what to do about that? Take it off, have a look at it, clean it. Doesn't just want to come undone very easy. Oh yes, it does. It's coming. Yeah, that looks pretty dirty. Yeah, I would say that what this wants is an oil change. I've just pulled a load of bits of crap out. I don't know, it's like bits of rubber gasket or something. I think that's rubber gasket. But yeah, the oil's pretty bitty, so it probably wants all the oil dropping out, chucking, and a new one of these, and a new inline filter, and some fresh oil. I think that, to be fair, that's probably what it wants. But I haven't got anywhere near enough oil to do that without going and getting more. God knows how much oil. How much oil will they hold? I mean, I don't think 20 litres would go very far. You'd probably be looking at 80 to 100 litres of oil. Don't know, guessing. So yeah. Someone said in my comments in one of my videos that this it's an LR. It's probably an LR14 or an LR16, and I think from a quick Google search, they're probably right. Gosh, chucking it down. Shed's not quite big enough. I've seen just from Google imaging this that model, I've seen a few different variations. This is obviously an axle bracket, which I don't think that's really how I should have it mounted. I think the link arms should be down here underneath, if you can see, and then the top link, well, that's obviously designed for a much smaller tractor with a much smaller top link. But I've seen ones where I've seen something similar where this is actually bolted here near the edge, which obviously gives you a bit more reach. And then someone's, whether it's a different model, there's been like a bracket made here, I don't know if you can see, welded on up here to mount the top link. All of which seem quite good ideas. Or the other way is, like I said, I think, like I said before, is to spin it round and have it as a right-hand one, which will get rid of the looking over my left-hand shoulder problem. Because I don't do that many, well, I don't do that many hedges, but most of the hedges are all field hedges, so it doesn't really matter if you're going against the traffic. So yeah, there's lots of little things you could do. There's lots of filling about. I just want to make, so yeah, I just need to decide, see what Dan says, whether we take the plunge and spend a bit of money, change the filters and the oil, which, to be honest, seeing how that started up then and ran fast, I think that, you know, I'm not worried that the motor's knackered, because it's clearly not. So it's more just an oil flow issue. So I think it's worth doing that, getting it working properly, and then maybe having a play with. The problem is that if we mount the arms closer, so direct to those bottom brackets, it's going to make the whole machine sit like 10 inches closer to the tractor. And as it is, when you fold it up now, the head is knocking, if you fold it all the way in, the head's banging on the mudguard of the tractor, so bringing it a foot forward is just going to make it even worse. So which means you're going to have to leave it sticking out into the road to travel. And if you move that across to get more reach, it's going to be even worse again. So yeah, I don't know how you get around that really. Anyway, lots to do. Oh, I'm sick of this weather. These cattle have run out of silage, so it's that time of the day again. Put 2 bales out. I don't know if I'm going mad. It sounds like it's rattling to me. It's not as bad as the old one, but I don't know. It sounds like it's a bit rattly to me, but I don't know. Another thing someone suggested in the comments of my last video was a place, I can't remember what the name of it was. Was it Vickery JCB Parts, which looks like a flipping handy company to know actually, but by the time I got that comment it was too late. I'd already ordered and fitted this exhaust. Shut up. And at first I was pretty pleased with it, but yeah, it's something's rattling. It's obviously not the exhaust, I don't know. Dan thinks I'm going mad, but it definitely doesn't sound right. There's something not right. Anyway, I'm just going to have to put up with it now, whatever it is. It's nowhere near as bad as the old one, but it's just a bit of a tinny rattle going on. Yeah, just the next day again now. and the sun's shining. It's actually a really nice afternoon after a bit of a miserable morning. I'm just running a bit of food into this hen bin, because I've run out of the feed which these should have, which is the slightly lower protein, because they're later on, and they're in the second half of their lay, so I'm just waiting for this to run in. Hopefully it'll take all of this. I can clean this bit out and it'll be ready for Friday. It's Wednesday night now, so I've just had a fiddle with the hedge cutter today. I've just dropped, my brother Dan had the idea to just drop the oil out, so I was thinking, bloody hell, a lot of oil in it, it's a lot of oil to replace if I change the oil. So he said, well, just drop it out, filter all the crap out of it and put it back in. Which didn't sound like a bad idea actually, so I dropped it. I dropped it as much as I could get out, and there was a lot of bits of like old bits of gasket and stuff in the bottom. So I ran it through like a real fine sieve and got loads and loads of crap out of it. Took the filter out and blew all the crap I could get off that and washed it, put it all back in, poured the oil back in, topped the oil up, and I just gave it a go. I had a bit of a play with it on our boundary hedge, and it seems to be working fine. I don't know how long it'll work as you carry on using it, because I think obviously as the oil circulates round and round, it's going to agitate the oil and any bits that are in the bottom, because I could only really drain out one side of the tank, because the far side of the tank there's like a hump, so I couldn't get all the oil without tipping the whole thing on its side. But I think what I cleaned out was the dirtiest bit, like you would expect. So yeah, I think as the oil agitates round and round, it's going to stick more and more to the gauze. So maybe after you've been using it for an hour or so, that's when you'll know whether it's going to restrict the oil flow or not. Maybe it might have just been a bit short of oil. I put an extra 10-15 litres in it to top it up. There seems to be enough oil in it. It's at the mark. So I don't know, maybe if I get time in the next day or two, I'll take it down the road again and have another play in the daylight. But so yeah, I was quite pleased. Anyway, it's a bit of a jumble, this video, but I thought I might try and end it here because I've no idea how much stuff I've filmed. I'm about to start my jobs, try and get some packing done this evening, and I don't know, see what happens tomorrow. I might take the kids out for a day, I don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.